Hey everyone, Tiny Teams is back with another festival on Steam. If you don't know what that is, Tiny Teams is an indie games festival that highlights studios with 5 people or fewer. This year I was sponsored a few game codes to check out from the festival based on some of my favorite genres. So here are a list of games that I'm excited about from Tiny Teams 2023. Tales and Tactics is an RPG roguelike auto-battler. Yeah, you heard that right. So let's break that down a little bit. This game is primarily an auto-battler, where you buy heroes from a shop, combine them to make them stronger, and pit them against other teams. If you like auto-battlers like TFT or Auto Chess, then you'll probably love this game. It has similar mechanics like items, traits, and shops. The sideways view is different though, which makes hero placement feel more strategic than the games they derive inspiration from. You don't play against other players, but rather against AI. Which brings us to the roguelike elements. On every run, you can make choices on a path that you don't necessarily see in this game, and you can presumably unlock items and perks, etc. for future runs. The RPG elements added to the mix come mostly from the beginning of the run, through the selection of perks, race, class, aspiration, and background, like any good old RPG. I'm not sure what these do in the grander scheme of things, but I did see something to do with a race-related discount in one of the events. It definitely adds more depth to the game, if anything. Tales and Tactics seems to blend 3 of my favorite genres together into an interesting amalgamation. A little note on the soundtrack: whoever made it had the best time. It is epic and sounds amazing. Tales and Tactics is set to release on the 10th of August in early access. Make sure to grab this if it's up your alley. Heretic's Fork is a deck builder auto shooter. You can build towers, but I wouldn't call it a tower defense. Not really. Your towers are all in the middle, and they need to shoot the sinners before they make their way to you. If they reach the middle, you lose health. You lose all of your health and you die. What does make this game super quirky is that it boasts an old school interface. And this seems to be a trend in indie games these days, and I'm not complaining at all. It's great, especially with the evil Clippy dispensing advice, although this advice seems to be a little bit more useful. There seems to be a lot going on, but at least the game eases you into it. I love that you start with the randomized deck as the intern, so you can see the kinds of cards you can expect when you start making custom decks with other characters. I'm itching to play more of this game and see how far I can get with the next wave, and the one after that. The Last Flame is also an auto-battler, but not so heavily inspired by others in the same genre. It feels like a very different monster than Tales and Tactics, for example. The Last Flame takes inspiration from the map generation of Slay the Spire, and it adds some useful features, like outline the possible routes you can take if you choose a specific path. There are no traits to this auto-battler, but rather synergies between skills. So in my first run, I combined bleed and shield, then chose items, heroes, and skills to bolster that. The UI is a little difficult to decipher sometimes, but I love the gameplay loop. It's super satisfying and draws you in. Really love the blend of genres on this one. So, Stunt Derby. Do you like having fun while racing cars? Do you like driving into props and friends alike? Do you like editing crazy tracks and racing on them with strangers on the internet? Then Stunt Derby is for you. One of the developers of this crazy game is Danny O'Dwyer, one of my favorite people in content creation. He was talking about this a lot in his F1 and No Clip podcast, and when I got the opportunity to try it, I went without abandon. This is fun and silly and loud and chaotic. I love it, even though I am terrible at it. When I read the summary of GladiEATers, I immediately went, hell yeah! And on playing it, I can only say that it's super original and also rather kooky. Here's the summary. Play as the world's best combat chefs and cook up powerful food monsters to command in turn-based battles. Combine recipes, discover unique food fighters, and battle through the Colosseum to become the ultimate champion. So basically, you need to cook your team within a certain time limit to battle them against other food items. but you need to actually cook them. So it has two main genres squished together: cooking minigame and turn-based combat. It's amazing and silly all at the same time. In the cooking phase, you can put more steps in the process to make more complex food, but you also need to take into account how slow the food creature thing will be when it comes to the combat phase, and also the time you have left to cook. How you complete each minigame also dictates the quality of the food, and I assume also the stats. The skills are also super funny as well. The UI is tough to look at and sometimes difficult to decipher, but I just love the originality of this game, so I can definitely look past it. While farming sims aren't really my cup of tea, something grabbed me with Harvest Island, and that's the story. The dynamic between the siblings is really sweet and super engaging. I love the mechanic of befriending the animals to unlock more dialogue options as well. There seems to be a whole lot that you can do around the island. Perhaps the playtest version opened you up to so many options at the beginning, which I hope they won't do in the final release, as not to intimidate new players. Nevertheless, this seems to be a charming game, and I'm excited to see what comes of it. And lastly, Axon TD Uprising is the big brain tower defense game. Lots of things to take into account on every map. The placement of towers affects pathing, which you can also affect with expanding the map with extra tile placements and something called blockers. But then there are also mines that you want to put in the path to deal more damage. I find the building of paths to be quite a novel concept and something that really adds an extra dimension of strategy to the game. You also don't have to use the whole level if your pathing is good enough. I managed to get through most of the tutorial levels without using all the resources the game offered me. The game also seems to reward creativity in your defense construction. If you're looking for something new in the genre, then this TD is definitely for you. And those are the games that I'm super excited about for Tiny Teams 2023. Let me know what games you're keen to dig into in the comments below. And while you're down there, leave me a like and make my day. Thank you so much for watching.